Hello everyone, X-Walk Hill Bethelite here. And Watchtower is about to be possibly paying out tons of money. Paying out millions of dollars in restitution for the sexual molestation, for the sexual abuse, for the two-witness rule, because now people can sue Watchtower regardless of when they experience sexual abuse, sexual molestation, pedophilia, and Watchtower covered it up, the whole two-witness rule thing. Watchtower could possibly be paying out millions to all the people that's suffered because of all those things that have been going on. And one of the reasons is because you remember the Australian Royal Commission. The XJW community covered it well. There's video of the Australian Royal Commission. Ex-Jehovah's Witnesses would go up to people that were standing next to carts and talk to all of them about the Australian Royal Commission. We did the best job possible in covering the things that were going on within Watchtower. We continue to do a great job of covering everything that goes on within Watchtower, making sure all of Watchtower's members know about it. Well, think about this. The Australian Royal Commission times 1,000. That's possibly what Watchtower could be looking at. A situation where Watchtower is either stuck with all the people that could come forward having to be paid out money, or all the people that could be coming forward with their stories of sexual abuse, all those stories getting out. Which do you think Watchtower wants? Do you think Watchtower wants the XJW community in the United States to heavily cover all the stories of sexual abuse that has happened in Watchtower for who knows how long, for years, hundreds, possibly thousands of cases? Do you think all of those cases Watchtower would rather pay to take care of, pay out money? Or do you think Watchtower wants all that information out in the public? Watchtower has already suffered because of all the false predictions, all the things that they have said that didn't come true. Watchtower has already, online, been buried by the XJW community because of the teachings, because of everything that's been going on. And now, because of this law, every single instance of sexual abuse, of elders misusing their power, of all of these things, every single person can tell their story and have it heard in court, and also have it heard in the public. Do you think Watchtower can survive 1,000 stories of sexual abuse getting out in the public? They're already selling Kingdom Halls. They're already downsizing and have been doing so for years. So now that legally the roof has been taken off as far as what people can legally do against Watchtower. Now, people legally, I don't care if it happened when you were 7. You suffered mentally and physically because Watchtower wanted to cover things up. Watchtower made people afraid to speak up. Watchtower wanted to protect its own image versus protecting children and people in general that have suffered sexual abuse. And because of that, every story, the entire Silent Lambs, every story holds a lot of weight. Every single person out there that has ever suffered because of Watchtower and the 2-witness rule and the sexual abuse and the touching and the child molestation that's been going on within Watchtower, every single person can go and sue. Think about it. The position Watchtower is in. They're already hurting. They're already trying to make as much money off of the membership as possible. Now they're faced with a possibility. The possibility that the entire XJW community and everyone, even if they're still attending, that has suffered because of abuse, sexual abuse. Everyone is either going to have to be handed a check or all those stories can get out. And Watchtower is selling a religion. It's kind of hard to sell a religion in regards to God primarily using just Watchtower as its mouthpiece when Watchtower is up to its neck in sexual abuse cases and all these stories are getting out. The potential, because we don't know exactly how many people are going to come forward. But potentially, let's just say, potentially everybody does come forward. How does Watchtower survive that? You think Watchtower has enough money to pay every single person that suffered sexual abuse? Because Watchtower essentially gave people a molest as many kids as you want for free card, and we'll just keep covering it up. 2 witnesses. The kid needs 2 witnesses. They'll never have 2 witnesses. We teach that people aren't supposed to really go to court up until that last Watchtower that came out. That last Watchtower that came out now, okay, think about it. Watchtower came out with a magazine, a Watchtower, and it was saying that people can start going and telling the police. That magazine is neither here nor there now because the statute of limitations has been lifted. So from that time on into the past, however far back you want to go, all of those cases can be tried. All of you, instead of having to suffer because of the things that Watchtower's done, all of you can make sure Watchtower pays for it with their pocketbook. Make sure Watchtower hands you a check. And really, I don't really think that justice is necessarily served when a person has experienced that type of abuse and they just get money because it happened. They can't erase it happening. But at the same time, they should still get some restitution. So I think justice would be, them eliminating it from ever having happened, but they can't do that. Everybody, big, thousands, who knows, maybe 1 million cases, potential limitless. That's what we're looking at right now. Limitless potential. Everybody that was sexually abused. And what we do not want when it's time to take a stand, when it's time to pursue this, we don't want people feeling sorry for Watchtower. All the people that are sympathizers with Watchtower, they know that the teachings are wrong, but they still sympathize with them. They don't want anything bad to happen to Watchtower. We don't want those people getting in the way of everyone's story being told. We don't want people afraid to tell their story because their dad is a JW and he's an elder, or their uncle is a JW and he's an elder, or their mom is a JW. We don't want people afraid to tell their story and talk about the sexual abuse. Tell about everything that Watchtower has done. Everybody tell. We don't want people afraid because they're worried about the shunning, or they sympathize with Watchtower and, oh, it was a long time ago. No. Doesn't matter how long ago it was. It's irrelevant how long ago it was. It happened. It happened to you. Legally, you're to come forward. Thousands, millions, everybody come forward. Tell your story. Call a lawyer. A lot of lawyers do the free consultations. They'll talk to you for free. And let them know what's going on as far as the statutes of limitations being lifted. Let them know what's going on as far as the sexual abuse. And it's got to be very difficult to talk about. It has to be very difficult to talk about, but you have experienced something that should have never happened, and you experienced it primarily because of the teachings in Watchtower and the policies in Watchtower that directly affected you. Meaning, you can receive some justice. So it's been covered in detail. People have come out with videos in detail as far as the actual law, as far as what it exactly means. However, let's also talk about the potential that it has to essentially eliminate Watchtower. Watchtower won't exist the way we know it if thousands or millions of stories get out, or they have to pay in restitution, and everybody will be rolling in money. And I understand that it still won't make up for what happened. but at least you'll be a lot richer than you are by coming forward. So thousands, millions coming forward with their story. Either Watchtower is going to bleed out financially and paying for all of this in the courts, or they're going to bleed out in the arena of public opinion when all these stories get out and everybody knows that these people walking around their block, knocking on their doors and whatnot, these people are pedophiles or pedophile supporters, one or the other. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. What can we do to help support the people that have had this happen? Because it has to be difficult to come forward with that information. That's something that happened to you. Something very embarrassing that happened to you. Something that if you were to speak about, it takes a lot of bravery. So how can we help people come forward with what happened to them and speak up so it doesn't ever happen again to anybody else? How do we do that? I don't want anybody afraid to speak up because of who it was. I don't care if it was your own father. I don't care who it was. I don't want anybody afraid to speak up and say that was wrong. Somebody, and Watchtower's paying for it, because Watchtower's policies directly influence people being sexually abused. 937-789-4029. That's a number, that phone number. Text, what have you. We'll discuss it. It's going to take a lot of bravery for people to come, for every single person who has ever suffered sexually to come forward. It's going to take a lot of bravery. But there is a lot of bravery in the XJW community. So you have Watchtower and a situation, and you have the entire XJW community and people, even if they still believe it. If you still believe the teaching, you still know that sexual abuse, the touching, the molestation, you still know all is wrong. So even if you believe it, you still should come forward. It's still wrong. It still needs to be stopped. Everybody needs to come forward. So if God was with Watchtower, then God will take care of it. But if it happened to you, come forward. And there is a lot of support in the XJW community. We don't want people to worry about, I'm going to lose my friends. My friends won't talk to me anymore if I tell about what happened in Watchtower. If I tell that I was sexually abused, if I tell about me knowing about sexual abuse about someone else, tell about that too. If you know about sexual abuse that happened to somebody else, tell about that also. But the shunning is the tool that a cult uses to keep people afraid of coming forward. So we're going to see where this leads, but potentially it could be bigger than the Australian Royal Commission. Potentially. You could have rallies going on everywhere with supporters of people coming forward. You could have rallies going on everywhere with supporters of, even if it didn't happen to you, we could still support the people that it didn't happen to. So there could be groups of people that rally to support, in support of the people coming forward and telling. We want everybody to know, even the people that are inside the watchtower bubble. We want them to know you can tell what happened to you, and you have support, and you have something financial to fall back on because you can pursue it legally in court. So Watchtower is either paying out money, they're either just handing out money. Watchtower is making it rain, you see, to try to cover up everything that's going on. Or it's coming out. It's coming out. And all the abuse, all the stress, all the things that happened to you that should not have happened, you don't have to just take it. You can pursue it in court now. So everybody, thousands of cases, millions of cases, big. I don't care if it happened when you were 3. Come forward and it could bury Watchtower. This could very well finish Watchtower. But we don't want a bunch of people worried that it might finish Watchtower because they're Watchtower sympathizers and they don't want anything to happen to Watchtower for whatever reason. So comment down below. We'll talk about what can we do to support the people that have had it happen to them and be a strong support for them and coming forward. And also, too, you can't be a Watchtower support. You can't be a Watchtower supporter in this instance, because if you are, then you are a pedophile supporter. There's no way around it. You either support pedophiles or you support the victims. One or the other. You can't pick and choose. Support the pedophiles or support the victims. One or the other. X Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.